Hi ladies, this is Tony. I'm coming to you with a new website. Well, it's an old website, but I've been using it in a new way. And I think that you guys will really enjoy it. The website is called Desmos.com, Desmos.com. And I've recommended Desmos to my students in the past before in case they didn't have a graphing calculator at home and they wanted to graph some things for homework or something like that. If you just go to the website and click start graphing, that's what it'll lead you to a graph where you can put in functions, you can put in a table, you can put notes in, you can also put in an image. Here, let's try some of this. So if I click on image, it brings up your folders and you can just open it and your image will be on the screen and you can move it around, make it smaller or larger, and you can put in a function. Let's see. Okay. Okay, like that. So that's what I gave my students in case they didn't have a graphing calculator, or I would tell them to use Wabbit Emu or something like that. But this was just an alternative for them. But now Desmos has all of these cool activities that you can use in your classroom. You can use the ones that they provide or that other teachers have made, or you can make them yourself. So once I go to Desmos.com, I click on teacher.desmos.com, and I'm already logged in, but it'll ask you if you want to create an account or log in, and you can log in with your Google account, so that's good, so you don't have to make up a new username and password or anything like that. But so here are a lot of the activities that they create. Now I just checked out the one that says marble slides. It's pretty cool. You could use it with quadratics. The kids will manipulate the equations of quadratics so that they will catch all of the marbles, as you can see here. These yellow, well, they're actually stars when you click on them, these yellow stars. Here, let's try one. So what you would do is give your class the website student.desmos.com, give them the class code if you wanted them to try a pre-made activity like this. So I'm going to go to student and then put in the class code, which would be HY5W. Okay, and so they put in their name, click go, and then it gives you a little tutorial too, which is nice. So you don't have to you can walk through it with your students first, but once they get into the program, it walks through it with them again. So you have to get all the stars here, and so you would click launch to launch the marbles and see if your marble catches all the stars. All right, so that's the gist of this activity. And so you go to your next example and they're asking you to fix the equation so that your marble will catch all the stars. So now if I hit launch, okay, the marbles are just going to go in the parabola shape and settle there. But now I can change my equation. I'm going to change this to a negative 0.1 and my parabola flips and I release the marbles and all the marbles come down. Okay, so it's a lot of different equations like that, and this is more instruction, making sure the kids know how to reset it. And so then it goes into more examples. Change this equation so that it'll catch all the marbles and so on. So I thought that was a really cool activity. You could do that with linear equations, of course, and cubics, trig functions, all of that stuff. So that was pretty cool. Another thing that I have used is called the polygraph. So a polygraph is when you have multiple graphs and you have a partner and you try to decide which graph is your partner's graph by asking them leading questions. So just to give you guys an example of what my students did, so they ask, questions about the vertex, if it was positive or negative, where is the vertex, and so that would narrow down the choices that they had to pick from, and then they would finally choose the right graph. Let me see if I could go back, show you guys how it starts off. No, I don't want to do that. Well, with the polygraph one, you have to have a partner. So, but let me see if I can go back to it. Oh, okay. So you guys can see what the graphs and slides and stuff look like. All right. So here I made a bunch of different slides, and it's very easy to make slides. You just it gives you this setup, and you plug in your equation or whatever, and then it presents that graph on here. And I just did about 16 of them, and then I sent it out to my kids, and then they partnered up and asked questions about the vertex, and whether it was flipped or whether it was skinny or wide and stuff like that, and then they chose the correct graph from there. So I think that's a pretty cool activity too. Another thing that I've done was use this to introduce ideas to my students. This one, quadratic equations introduction, I just made slides to introduce the idea of quadratics to them, like what was a quadratic, what's a parabola. I showed them parabolas in real life, how you can use quadratic equations in real life. This picture and the next few pictures are from Dan Meyer, I think his name is Dan Meyer's blog, where he shows how you need 3 points to make a parabola by shooting a basketball. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They also have other things on here by Dan Meyer, like this penny circle one. Here, let me click on this one. I'll go to student. So again, you put your name in, and so this one he helped create with them, so it shows you a video, him putting pennies in a small circle. And this activity is really about modeling, collecting data and regression. So, and that's something that we use in all of our high school maths. Well, at least math 1 through math 3, we use regression. And so he's showing you in a little circle, then he shows you in a big circle, and then he asks, what do you think? How many will fit in the big circle? I'll say 750. And then what is a number you think is too small? What is a number you think is too large? Okay, and then you keep going through the activity. So they're telling you strategies, how you can use, you could do it yourself, fill in a big circle with pennies, but it would take a long time. So let's try and develop some strategy. Let's work with a smaller circle and then predict how many pennies will be in the larger circle. So this lets them drag pennies inside. This is a good way to incorporate technology in the classroom. There's so many things that they can do with it. All right, so I keep going and going, and then after that, then you put your data on a graph, and you can pick a model, and then you will compare. Well, first see if your model is appropriate. Then you can compare with other students and so forth. So this one says my prediction is out of bounds because I just picked a random model or whatever. So my model gives me way too large of a number. So they're saying maybe you should go back and change your model, which is really good. All right. So I just encourage you ladies to go to the website and look around and try different activities out, because it could really be helpful in your classroom. And if you have any questions, just email me or come see me and I'll be happy to help. All right. Bye-bye.